So I don't know how close I'm gonna get to this, so I'm filming it now. Yesterday it kind of took me away from the pond and then brought me back, but I'm climbing Saddleback Mountain right now, and this is just sitting here up at the higher elevation. It's absolutely beautiful. Again, I'm not gonna go into the woods. I don't want to waste time doing that, but look at this beautiful pond. Oh my gosh. See, this is why I could live in the mountains. Big, beautiful pond. Put a shack up here. Have my food choppered in. I'd love it. I bet there's moose and bear and every other kind of wildlife that frequents this area. Anyway, alrighty. Goodbye, beautiful pond. Maybe I'll get a closer look later. Down trail. This is about a mile. There's that pond. This is about a mile from Saddleback, the summit of Saddleback. If I called it Spalding earlier, I was confused. All right, let's go see what the summit is like on top of Saddleback. Still a mile. Long way to go. Oh my gosh, I just can't. It just, oh my gosh, it just, how can it get more beautiful every single time? Unbelievable. This is just starting to head down Saddleback Mountain.
A stream up here.
Oh, water would be nice. This is point 1 to the summit of Saddleback Junior. I just didn't know what the view is going to be like up there. Sometimes it's not as good as on the way. Oh, it's just, this has been a glorious day, but we've been above tree line a lot, so the views have just been spectacular. I thought this was cute, you know, this cairn, how they have this one rock standing up so they could put a blaze on it. So cute. But I must go up there. I don't know if you can see it, but you will see it as soon as I get there. Onward. This time, the view on the actual summit is spectacular. This is Saddleback Junior. There it is. Let's see, elevation 3655. So people are already in their tents for the night, so I didn't want to start talking and disturb them. So I mean, it's only 7:30, but it's like hiker midnight, right? But this is part of a waterfall. Our drought is making it not a very impressive one right now. But doesn't matter. We have this phenomenal water source. Look at it. And here's the thing, right? It actually, this is the rest of the waterfall. This is the main part of the waterfall. And it goes down into this glorious, utterly spectacular stream. Oh, look at that skyline. Oh my gosh. But anyway, it goes down into the spectacular stream where I collected my water because I didn't know this existed up here. There was nowhere to pitch my tent down by the stream. So I climbed this 0.1 insanely steep, I mean, I can't even tell you, like insanely steep climb for 0.1, only 0.1, but with 4 liters of water so that I could have this spectacular camping down this. This isn't actually, down there is an old logging road. Oh my God, perfect camping, perfect camping. But if only I had known the water was here, I wouldn't have had to carry 4 liters of water up that insanely steep 0.1. Doesn't matter. I got up, saw how great the campsites were, or the tent sites, and I said, I'm not even going to be mad that there's water. I'm just not. I love these tent sites so much. I'm not going to be mad that there's water. Anyway, and look, that's where the logging road would go. And it goes down there. And then get this, one of my favoriteest parts. There's the trail. Naturally it goes up, but there's the trail. See how close? Right there. I don't have to go nowhere. And all the water in the world. So anyway, was able to clean up, soak my feet, rinse my shirt. Anyway, all good, all great. I'm gonna go in my tent and do a recap on the day now, but just wanted to do that. And rumor is there's a meteor shower or something going on right now. I'm gonna see if I can't catch a glimpse. If I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm gonna poke my head out of the tent. But I will tell you, I think because there's water nearby and because there are so many dried up streams, the mosquitoes are out of control here. They're like, we're hanging out where the water is. It's not our fault that you decided to hang out here as well. But anyway, so I gotta crawl in my tent soon just to escape them. But I am trying to send a satellite message to my husband, and right now it's telling me the next satellite's available in 12 minutes. So, I don't know. I'm gonna hang out here and get eaten alive for 12 more minutes, and then send my message, and then crawl in my tent and escape those stinking skeeters. All right, I will, maybe while I'm getting eaten alive, I'll do my update. All right, well, we'll do that in a separate clip. Okay, just wanted to show you my spectacular tent site. I always do find the good ones. Love this. Good evening. So, I am sitting in that beautiful pool, we'll call it a pool of water, waiting for the satellite to come around so I can send a text to my husband because there is no service. There is never any service right now in the woods, except sometimes, and only sometimes, on the top of mountains. I'm in my rain jacket in an effort to escape the mosquitoes. I had my hood on, but I looked ridiculous, so I couldn't keep it on while I shoot this video. I am still vain while out here on the trail, to some degree. Anyway, today was actually quite nice. I thought it was going to be much worse. I had set out to do 10.5 miles, and it was just over 4,000 feet of gain. And we did, well, you've seen the pictures, because right now I'm trying to think, shoot, I know I want to call it Spalding, but that's tomorrow. It was, oh, for Pete's sake. I don't remember, but you saw the Oh God, my brain. I'm telling you, I need to go home and eat so my brain can function again. It's so bad. And it's not just me. It's a real phenomenon. Hiker brain. It's a real thing. I've talked about it so much because it's so real. I did some big mountain. Saddleback. That's what it was. Saddleback. And Saddleback the Horn. Okay. Both 4,000 footers. And then I did Saddleback Junior. So, it was a big day. But as it would turn out, it was actually, the trails were quite nice. You know what? They reminded, not Saddleback Junior. Saddleback Junior stunk. It was terrible. It was all rocks, like just tons and tons and tons of rocks to climb. And then it was all rocks coming down, and then it then it became dirt and pine needles and whatever. But Saddleback and Saddleback the Horn actually were quite nice. Steep in parts, but really pine needles, some roots, a few rocks. It was nice. It reminded me of the trails in New Hampshire that I enjoy. Not the ones the AT took me on, the ones I enjoy. It was nice. But I'll tell you what, it was oh my gosh, it was a hot day. Hot, hot, hot. And we did not get water. We were told there was no water from where I started on Route 4, had that stream. We were told there was no water for 10.5 miles until it was a shelter that I planned to stop at. Thank God at like mile, if it was 10, at mile 9, there actually was a little spring coming out of a rock. And a whole bunch of us had stopped. And we weren't hiking together, but everybody was stopped there to get water because we were all dying. And I drank 20 ounces, filled my bottles, 40 ounces, and then hiked to the shelter where their water supply, which was supposed to be good, was scoopable pools. Not good. Not plentiful, not moving. I was like, you know what, I didn't actually look at it. I was going by what someone else told me, but I looked over and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not staying. I mean, I need good water, right? We need good water, right? But I had looked on the map, and 2.7 miles further, I had no idea what the terrain was going to be like. I knew there was going to be some steep section, but not bad. Mostly it was downhill, but there was going to be some climbing. There was supposedly a water source. Actually, all the commenter said was the waterfall looks pretty sad. And I said, well, that doesn't say dry. That doesn't say dry. That says sad, not dry. I am going to take a chance and go to the waterfall because after the waterfall, 1/10 was the logging road. And it said, excellent camping, great water. So I said, I'm going. And then Kodiak, who I met yesterday and hiked with quite a bit today, he also decided, okay, I'll take a chance. So great when we got here. So great. We filled our water down at the stream, okay, because we didn't know the pool. We did not know this was here. I'm going to try and leave a comment to make sure people realize that this is here, because carrying all that water up, it was so steep. I know I said it over and over and over. It was like, I can't even how steep it was. But you know what? I just dug in, hunkered down, got point 1. I can do that, right? And then I get up here and I find this great water, but it doesn't matter. The stream was flowing well. This water's great. The campsites are phenomenal. So it turned into 13.2 miles and probably just under 4,300 feet of elevation. And I didn't feel awful. I didn't feel completely wrecked, which is amazing because I got my fresh resupply and my pack felt so heavy this morning. But the rumor is we are in drought conditions. So the rumor is we're also going to have no water again on the trail. So we go water here. We'll have water in 2 miles, according to the map, the comments in the map, and then no water for 8 miles. I am going to try and hit 2 of the 4,000 footer spurs, which means I'm only going to the AT is only going to take me so close. And then I'm going to do the spurs, so that's adding mileage. Mount Abraham adds like 3.4 miles. And then Sugarloaf adds a mile. So a mile to mile 0.2. So I've got to add that to my no water situation. If it's downright unsafe, I'm not going to do it. But if I can get enough water and I can make it work, I'm going to do it. But I guess we'll just see. I mean, it's really out of my control. There is so many springs along the way. They're all dry. Everybody's been commenting, there's so many springs. Dry, 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 dry. We haven't had any rain. I heard we're getting rain Thursday. Today is Tuesday. I heard we're getting rain Thursday. Thursday I'll be hiking. And then, what will I be hiking Thursday? I don't know what I'll be hiking Thursday, but I'm staying in a hostel Thursday night. And I'm going to because it's probably going to be late. So a hostel Thursday night, and then I'm just taking a 0 on Friday to get all the chores done without having to rush. And then back at it Saturday, and we'll hit the Bigelows. And then once the Bigelows are past us, it's supposed to get a lot more friendly on the trail. Like the terrain and we really I can't speak to the terrain. But the elevation is supposed to be a lot milder. At least that's what I'm being told. Oh, God, I need to get through these 4,000 footers. I love them. It's just with the heat and my heavy pack and the drought, it's just hard. It's hard. But I did all right today. I was just so thankful to find that spring in the rock at mile 9, because that made a big, big difference. It gave me enough water, it refueled me, I don't know, it got me healthy so that I could move past the shelter. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what condition I'd have been in if I got to the shelter and hadn't had that water at the spring. So, it's just hard. It's hot, hot, hot out here and there's no water. Anyway, enough on that. All right, so I told you tomorrow's a big, big day. Big, big day, because I'm adding 2 spurs if I can get water and stay hydrated enough, I guess. And it's like a 10.5 mile day before the spurs, because I don't know what the spurs are going to be. Well, I guess I do. 3.4, 4.4. So it'll be like a 15-mile day if I do everything. All right. Well, I guess the mosquitoes haven't been too bad since I'm sitting straight in the middle of the water, and I'm soaking my feet, and it feels really good, because the water here, very cold. Feels so good. Takes the swelling out of my feet. But anyway, I'm very sure the satellite's already gone by, and if it's not coming by again for another 20 minutes, I'm going to bed. Sorry. All right. Ugh, I thought a mosquito was biting my fingers. But it is time for me to go to bed, and I'm trying to think, because I feel like there has to be something that I've forgotten. Well, Happy Ending just came in late, but she pitched her tent, went straight in, so she barely saw her. Saw Lauren and Strider again. Saw Boardwalk again. Met some day hikers. They were wicked, wicked nice. Yeah, but spent most of the day with Kodiak. And never did see Rebel J, Princess Sucker, and Frito. They must have gotten a later start. All right, that's it. I guess until tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.